In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these cozy indoor slippers, a very quick and easy project to sew. For this pair right here, I've used an upholstery for the exterior and a Sherpa fleece for the interior, and this pair is a pre-quilted fabric with an interior that's just plain fleece. So I've designed patterns extra small through extra large for you, so like I always say, download that pattern and let's go, let's make it. A quick review of the patterns. So the extra small needs no taping. And then the small size, you'll tape it together, matching the circle there. So if you didn't remove your white margins like I didn't, don't cut the paper at all. Just bring the two sheets together and tape it down the center. And to make sure you print it to size, you can also use the little ruler there I provided for you. Then the size medium is the same as the small. You'll actually tape it together here, and it is 3 pages. No point in actually taping the third one. And then large, size large is the same as the other. You just tape pages 1 and 2. You don't have to tape page 3. And then for the extra large, you're taping together pages 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, let's get this started. So no matter what size you're making, the tutorial will show you for all sizes. So I'm going to put together a medium-sized pair of slippers. For the exterior, I'm going to be using this vintage, beautifully quilted fabric here, and there is a little bit of batting on the inside. Then the interior of my slipper is going to be a fleece, and then the bottom will be a black canvas. Okay, so let's start cutting out the patterns. Right sides together, and then pin my pattern right into place and cut it out. Cut out 2 at once. Out of the fabric, and then you're going to cut, just like the pattern says, another 2 out of the lining. So I have my lining, which is fleece, an extra fluffier fleece here, and I'm going to fold it right sides together, and then I'm going to pin this down the same way and cut. The 2 fabric pieces cut out and the 2 linings cut out, and I'm just going to push this aside, and now it's time to cut out the actual sole. So for the sole, I'm going to use the same interior fabric, which is my fleece, and this fleece is, like I mentioned before, a little bit fluffier, but I'm going to double it up. Or what you can do is actually iron some fusible fleece to it as well, or you can add a really thin layer of foam. It is totally up to you. I tend to wear very thick socks, so I don't want my sole too thick, but it's up to you what you cut your sole out of. Two soles cut out, and like I said, I'm going to double them up. You again can do a foam or anything you want in between. The last thing that I'm going to cut out is the actual sole that will be touching the floor, or the exterior sole of my slipper. And here we go. I'm using a canvas. I hope you're enjoying my tutorial. Can you believe that less than 10% of the viewers watching my videos and downloading my free patterns actually subscribe? I'm really trying to build a positive making community, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. Thanks. That all of my pieces are cut out, what I'm going to do next is start forming the top of the slipper. So I've already gone ahead here and clipped together this top area. So you're going to do the same to both pieces. So I take them right sides together, and you're going to clip this arch area here. And now I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, and on both pieces I'm going to sew with about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all around this arc here. And then I'm going to backstitch on the ends. Sewing these together, you're going to turn them right sides out so that you have a nice finished outer piece just like this. So what I did is I gave it a little press. If you're using a really fuzzy or furry interior, you may not want to give it a press. It's up to you. But that's it. I just folded it this way. And then if you'd like, you can give it a press so that it stays better. The next step is to take them right sides together and join the ends so that all 4 edges are lined up. And I'm going to use a clip to hold it together. And then I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and just sew a straight stitch all the way down, back stitching on the end. And same on this one. I'm going to actually pink the edges. You can also use a serger and serge them if you have a serger. Okay, and this one as well. Turn it right side out. You can see the slipper looking like a slipper now. So the next step is to sew it onto the soles. So if you remember, I am doubling up on my fleece, but of course you could do anything, add foam, it's up to you. And what you're going to do is keep this wrong sides out. And this one as well, wrong sides out. So this is what's going to touch the floor for me. So that is the outside or the correct side. And you're going to place it onto this correct side. And we're going to sew this on. Now, if you need, you can sew your layers together first so that it doesn't move when sewing. But I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to do it all this way without pre-sewing it first or even doing a basting stitch. Okay, so this is my beginning here on the top. That's like where my toe goes. So I'm going to place that up here. And I'm going to make sure all my layers are together. I'm going to clip it. And then I'm going to move all the way to the back. Make sure all my layers are there. And clip it. And just make sure, work my way around, clipping, making sure I grab all of the layers so that they'll be sewn together. And you're going to do the same thing on the other slipper. And then once you're done clipping them all or pinning them all together, whatever you decide to use, pins or clips, you're going to go to the sewing machine and sew it. So I'm going to clip that in a moment, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over to the sewing machine, and I like to start always where my seam is, and I'm going to use about 1/4 of an inch, if not a little bit more, seam allowance, and I'm going to work my way all the way around the slipper and backstitch there. Around the slipper, and now you're going to turn it right sides out, and it's that simple, and you have your slipper. Now your slippers can be done like this, or you can add something on them wherever you like. It's totally your call. These are washable and just really finished as is. But what I'm going to do is I made these bows out of satin ribbon, and I have these also vintage buttons that I'm going to sew to the center of the bow and sew to the front here because I think it adds a little bit of something special to it. And just like that, we finished these adorable cozy slippers. So hey, if you love sewing tutorials that are quick and easy like this, why don't you also check out my bangle bracelet wristlet tutorial? It's just as quick and easy as this one. Anyway, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.